Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Sunday stretch. I'm Jen. Thanks for joining me. For those of you at home, we have a PVC pipe, 5 to 6 feet long. Ideally, it's equivalent to your wingspan. Okay, we have yoga straps. I've got a yoga mat. If you need it for kneeling, blankets would be great. We may get into that today. We'll see how class goes. Yoga blocks for arm lengtheners. But let's go ahead and begin. So we have our one stick and we're gonna extend it out from our belly button and we'll just lightly grip into the stick. Take a look down at your feet and make sure that your feet are just slightly wider than your hips. Okay. All right, great. Now, gripping your stick with your arms slightly below your armpits, we'll take a look at our left foot and we're gonna start with our ankle warm-up series, all right? So we're gonna begin by peeling our left ankle up all the way off the ground and getting it to the highest point possible, and then slowly returning back down to the ground. So up and down. And we're articulating through our foot, through those 3 joints down there, all the way up and all the way down. And some people like to focus on the action in their foot. Some people focus on the action in their calf. But as we continue this movement, we're going all the way up as high as we can, pressing our big toe mounds into the ground and back down, feeling your toes spread wide. You'll start feeling blood flow into the calf, but then also into the muscles in the front of the foot, or in the front of the leg, in the shin, as it were. All right, bring it down. Now let's take it to the right foot, all the way up and all the way down. Good, as you press into the stick, relax through the neck and the jawline. That action of emphasis as you press that stick into the ground is through your lats, okay, not through your shoulders. So stay relaxed in the neck. Good, 6 to 8 as you peel the foot off the ground and all the way up. Now let's go back to your initial foot and we'll take it all the way up, heel off the ground, and then we'll start working in small circles. So our knees are softly bent. You can see that my knee is flexed and going in, and it's almost like I'm drawing tiny little circles with my knee, but I'm also working to the outer edges of my foot. So I'm going from pinky to big toe, inner sole to heel, and then the outside of my foot. So really working through extending the range of motion in my ankle. Good, now change directions. So for me, that's big toe to pinky, outer edge to heel, inner edge back to my big toe. Good, 5 to 6 nice circles there, and then we'll go to the other foot. Now, if you're like me, I'm noticing that my socks are getting in the way, so I'm taking my socks off. Okay, to the other foot, up onto the balls of my feet, and then slowly working in circles. All the way to the edges of our ankles, range of motion. Good, 5 to 6 revolutions, 6 to 8, change directions. Get all the creaks out. You might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Don't take it to the edge of pain. We're just trying to work through improving the range of motion in your feet. Nice blood flow. All right, good. Okay, now let's bring your feet together. Okay, now make sure that you have space on either side of you. What we're going to begin doing now is walking with our feet together, pressing balls of the feet into the ground, lifting heels. So we're going to start by working to the side, toes and heels, toes and heels. Good. Nice lateral strength. The stick is there to support us so we don't feel like we're going to lose our balance. We can engage through our lats by using the stick. Good. And back again. Press the toes through the ground, lift the heels. Good. And then go back to your center space. Nicely done. Okay, now we're back to center. Our feet were working together. Now they're going to work in opposition to each other. So we're going to use the stick as we need to. Feet are close together underneath our hips. And then we're going to send our toes away and then heels away. Toes away, heels away. Good. Nicely done. Now we're going to get out to a position where we're slightly uncomfortable. We feel that strain in our inner thighs. Take a nice breath here, inhaling through the chest, exhaling out the low belly, and then activate through the inner thighs. Feel that energy drawing them together, and then pull the toes in and heels, toes and heels, pressing through the ground, getting your heels off the ground. Okay, let's take that one more time. Out, heel toe. Good, perhaps you can get even a little bit deeper this time. Pause here. Take that breath into the chest, out through the low belly. Activate through the inner thigh and then begin pulling in. Nicely done. Okay, march that out just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to come up the body a little bit and take our attention back to our sticks. All right, so let's make your grip on your stick as wide as you can. Okay, we're going to start with the easiest element in the warm-up, or the beginning element of the warm-up. So inhale through the chest. Exhale, bring the stick up overhead and just feel your neck soften. All right, right now I have the stick positioned just behind my head. I'm allowing my chest to soften, and then I'm going to bring it back down to the front. As I exhale, I'm going to bring it back again, and I'm going to soften even more, opening through the chest as I feel the stick moving away from my head, open, and back to the front. Exhale. Good. Open through the chest as that begins to push away from the body, sliding further down the back to the front. And exhale. Good. Okay, now we're going to bring it up overhead. Narrow your grip up overhead. And then we're going to bend at the elbow and let it slide slowly behind our neck. And then press back up and down. Exhale, bring it up. Bend at the elbow, slide the back of the head. And up, and one more time. Sliding back and up. Nicely done. Okay, let's go back to some more chest openers. Okay, I would like you to take the palm of your hand on the right hand and into the front of the stick. Now you're gonna run the stick from front to back. So my right hand is out in front, my left hand is by my hip, and so the stick is by my left hip. Okay, I'm gonna soften my knees. Now I like to call this is snow shoveling. It was dirt shoveling when it was gardening season. Maybe it's leaf shoveling now. Okay, soften our knees. We're going to hinge forward, and we're just going to scoop up and over and send the stick over our right shoulder and then back. So as we finish, our palm is facing the ceiling and we're softening through the chest. Good, nice straight lines, arcing up and over that right shoulder. Exhale through those parts that you think you might be difficult or you're sticky through. Good. Now we're not rotating here. We're trying to open through the chest. We're trying not to twist. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So left palm at the end of the stick. Right hand is back by your right hip now. And so we're going to arc up and over the left shoulder. Okay, soft bend in the knees. Inhale and exhale as you scoop up over the left shoulder and return. Good. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breath into the chest, out the low belly. Nicely done. Okay, let's bring the stick to the front. Good work. Hopefully your shoulders are bearing up okay. Nice shoulder openers. Yeah? Okay. All right, now we're gonna take the stick and plant it right in front of our belly button. And our grip on the stick is gonna be right even, so our arm is running parallel to the ground. All right, now soften your knees. And we're gonna open up, sending the stick away, still keeping your chest and shoulders pointed straight ahead. Good, and we're gonna bring it back in front, cross our body. You can reach up with that opposite hand if you want, draw back. Kind of like a bow and arrow. Open up the chest, cross to the opposite shoulder. That opposite hand can help draw back. Good. Nicely done. Okay, let's switch arms. Okay, so now I have my right hand out in front. It's running parallel to the ground. I'm going to start with opening up the chest. So I'm not rotating again. So my hips and shoulders are pointed straight ahead, is that I'm opening up and then crossing in front toward that opposite shoulder. I'm going to use my left hand to draw back like a bow and arrow, opening up my shoulder. Good. Draw back up and open. Try not to let your shoulder rise up as you do so. So we're trying to open that area between the shoulder blades. Good, one more. All right, nicely done. Okay, so we're gonna start next series with some rotational work. So we're gonna bring the stick, plant it on our shoulders. So it is not sitting in our neck, it's just below on your upper traps, okay? And your arms are extended and your palms are facing out toward me. Soft bend in the knees, and we're gonna exhale and twist. And I want you to feel like you're not limiting your range at all here, okay? Which means we're gonna start off just allowing your hips to migrate with this movement. You may feel this rotation all the way down to your knees as you twist and twist. Exhaling, emptying the air from your stomach. Allow your low back to release as you twist. Good, nicely done. Okay, come back to center. Now we'll go ahead and move the stick down to our hips. Okay, roll those shoulders if you need to. All right, so this is another option for our rotation, right? Stick is at our hips, palms are facing out, and twist. Now here you can get that sensation up above as well. Where are my muscles firing to help me hold this rotation, this twist? I want to be using my lats. Exhale. So you're pressing from your palm and then pulling from the elbow. Nicely done. Okay, now we're warming up our rotational movement. Now I want you to go ahead and get into our first split stance of the day, okay? All right, so I have my left foot forward, it is bent. My right foot is back, it is straight, and my heel on that right foot is off the ground, okay? And I want you to feel comfortable in this position. This is our good split working stance, okay? You may feel a challenge in your balance a little bit, and that's okay. We're supposed to feel like when we're in a working stance that it's not just as easy as standing on our 2 feet, okay? Now I want you to take your stick and we're gonna hold it in both palms. All right, now your grip on your stick is slightly wider than your shoulders, okay? So manage your grip. All right, now I'm in my strong stance, left foot forward, right foot back. I'm going to exhale and lift the stick just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm running about parallel to the ground. And I want you to create some energy from your lats by imagining that you're pulling the stick apart from your hands. So pulling apart with your hands, but get that energy firing out of your back. Good, now pause. And now we're gonna press the stick together from our hands, squeezing through our chest. Good, pause, one more time. Pull the stick apart from the back. Squeezing through your lats and elbows. Good, now press the stick together, squeezing through the chest. Good, okay, now relax that tension just a little bit and hinge. Okay, now I'm gonna bring my right hand to the edge of my stick, okay? So right hand to the edge, so your stick is a little bit longer on one side. Okay, we're hinged forward, and now we're gonna rotate and put the edge of the stick through the ground. Okay, so the left end of the stick is into the ground. My left palm is pressing down on the stick. My right arm or my left arm is really straight. And I'm pressing through this rotation with some energy and balance. Okay, release, rotate, shoulders are on balance and come back up. We're not going to release out of this split stance, okay? We're focusing on being strong through our glutes. We're hinging forward again. Rotate from the shoulders. Press the stick through the ground. Switch your left hand, Anne, or is it more comfortable like that? There you go. Yep. So you're pressing through that hand with your lat. The arm is straight. Feel energy in your left lat as you press down. And the right hand is pulling. Good. Release, rotate, and return. Now, without coming out of your split stance, we'll move to the opposite end. So left hand is now on the end of the stick. Again, we're going to hinge forward. That means our back stays in a neutral. We're not rounding. We're going to rotate, get the right end of the stick through the ground and press that right hand through the stick. Left arm is pulling, creating a bend in that stick. So elbows firing to pull back. Good. Good. Release, rotate. Okay. Ready? Hinging forward. Twist. Stick is into the ground on the right side, pressing through the right palm, pulling back from the left hand. Good. Release, rotate, hinge, and then bring your feet together. Okay, nice job. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. Okay, so now we have right foot forward, left foot is back, heel is off the ground. All right, so we're starting with our hands at center. We're comfortable in our working stance. Left heel is off the ground, right? You have more of your body weight on that front leg than in your back leg, okay? But you're comfortable, okay? Grip is centered on the stick, slightly wider than our shoulders. And then we're just gonna exhale and raise the stick, not as high as our armpits. And here we're just gonna work on, all right, we're gonna activate. So exhale as you press the hands together, squeezing through the chest. Okay, good. Release. Inhale through the chest. Exhale, pull it apart, squeezing through the back, pulling from the elbows. Pause. Inhale through the chest. As you exhale, press the stick together. As you run out of breath, relax. Inhale through the chest. And exhale, pull the stick apart again, pulling from the elbows, pulling from your lats, shoulders stay down. Good, and release. Nicely done. Now you can lower the stick for a second, but we're staying in our split stance. Feel that back glute. My left leg is back and that glute is active with heel off the ground. All right, now we're gonna raise the stick and we're gonna measure the distance on it. So that right hand, we're gonna twist to the left. So your right hand is on the edge of your stick. Your left hand is gripping slightly outside of your shoulders. We're gonna hinge forward at the waist and then rotate, putting the left end of the stick down to the ground. Left palm is gonna push through the stick. Right elbow is pulling away. Good energy. Okay, release, rotate. Good. Now, as you plant the stick, make sure it is outside. It shouldn't be inside your big toe of that front foot, Anne, just a little bit outside because it is, your arms are straight, you're twisting, right? You should be hinged enough forward that as you plant it, it's not in too close to your body. So out a little bit further. Okay. All right. So our stick is extended. We're going back. Right hand on the end of the stick, hinged forward, neutral spine. Exhale as you rotate, planting the left end of the stick, pressing through with that left hand, nice and strong through the left lat. Right elbow is pulling back. Good. Release. Rotate. All right, now slide the stick to the other end. Good balancing. You feel it in your glutes? Good. Okay, left hand is on the end of the stick now. The long end is now on the right side. I'm hinged forward. I'm gonna rotate, pressing the right end of the stick through the ground, pressing through. My right arm is straight. My palm is pressing, feeling that energy from my lat, but my left elbow is pulling, drawing back. Slowly release, rotate, and we're gonna do one more, okay? Ready? Make sure you're properly hinged forward, relax through the neck, rotate, pressing the right end of the stick into the ground, right hand pressing through the stick, left elbow pulling away. Good, now start releasing, rotating back to center. Come back up to a neutral spine, upright, bring your feet together. Yay, I know, that was a lot of work. A lot of very silent glute work, all right, good job. Rolling up my pants a little here, sorry about that, guys. Okay, all right, so when we do so much glute work, really stabilizing glute work, I like to march it out a little bit, give myself a little bit of break in those glutes. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that stick back behind our shoulders, or behind our hips, excuse me, and you're gonna have palms away, and your grip is gonna be slightly outside of your hips. And we're gonna start with hinging, and as we hinge, I want you to maintain your arms parallel to the ground, so they're gonna stay at your hips, palms up, okay? So you're gonna need to use a little bit of tricep energy to make that happen. All right, so if I were to demonstrate, my feet are slightly wider than my hips. I have a soft bend in my knees. My belly button's going in as I inhale through my nose into my chest. As I exhale, I'm hinging. And it's like I'm balancing the stick on the palms of my hands, right? That's my hinge. And then I'm gonna press my heels to the ground as I come back up. So we're gonna do just a couple of those to get our hamstrings just a little warmed up. All right, ready? Inhale. And then exhale, hinge, opening those palms to the ceiling. Let that stick just rest there as you maintain your arms parallel to the ground, using those triceps. Draw in another inhale. And then as you exhale, press your heels to the ground to activate through your hamstrings and bring you back up to neutral, right? This is our neutral spine warm up as well. So we're not bending or rolling our spine like a rug. We're holding it nice and neutral throughout. Inhale and exhale. Now I want you to imagine not only just holding that stick in the palm of your hand, but I want you to create some energy in your fingertips, shooting away to that opposite wall. Okay. Inhale through your nose into your chest. Exhale, press your heels to the ground and rise. Okay, good. With the next one, not just fingertip energy extending away, but then we're gonna leverage those triceps and raise the arms up above the hips. So the stick's gonna be rising up as well. All right, so we're starting just with the tricep activation. Okay, ready? Inhale and exhale as you melt forward, finding your parallel to the ground. Okay, relax through your neck and shoulders. Feel your arms and fingertips lengthen toward the wall behind you, and then slowly start raising, contracting through the triceps. The arms are going up. And then slowly lowering back down to parallel. Press your heels to the ground and rise. All right, the last element we're going to incorporate is not just tricep activation, but I want you to use your mid-back, upper shoulders, or rear deltoids, your posterior deltoids, and your middle trapezoids to draw your shoulders back as well. So you may feel like your heart is going forward as you draw those shoulders back, okay? This is the one time that I'm gonna say you can go ahead and wing your shoulder blades, but I want you to really open up and squeeze through those shoulder blades and hold it as the arms are elevated. Okay, you ready? Inhale through your nose. Exhale as you hinge forward. Good, find your parallel. Inhale, and then as you exhale, fingers lengthen, arms begin lifting, begin retracting those shoulder blades, pinching them together. Good, and then lower. Good, now I'm gonna press my heels through the ground. Now I want you all to do it a couple more times as I walk around and make modifications. So you all at home, just continue through that work. So we're up. Next step, inhale through the chest. Exhale, hinge and find your base for work. Arms running parallel to the ground. Inhale through the chest. Exhale, arms lengthen. Triceps pull. There you go. Lovely job. Lovely job, Sonia. Excellent. Good. Okay, Anne, just a little bit more in your rear delts. There. Good. Good job. I know it's a weird feeling when it's like, oh, that muscle. That was very good. Good. All right, take a break between each one. I want you to do a couple more and try and reconnect with that activation, pulling from those rear deltoids. Lovely, good. Okay, Anne, you can do it. Press the heart forward, draw your shoulder blades together, lift that stick from the triceps.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay, there you go. And roll these back.
They
Good.
don't want to go, do they?
No, so there's a correlation there, right? If our chest is too tight, our shoulders won't come back, right? So there's kind of a companion there for those people. Excellent, excellent. Oh, there you go, Anne. Good. You got it.
Okay. It's just a weird movement.
It is a weird movement, but it's really helpful for folks that are, on their computer all day long. They've rolled their shoulders forward. If you spend a lifetime in front of a computer in an office, you're more used to being here than here. So this is a great way to come back to opening up the chest, strengthening through the tops of shoulders. Nicely done. Good. Okay, for those of you that need a water break, now would be a good time to take a little water break if you need one. Okay. All right, we're going to go back to a little bit of rotation here. So we're going to take a couple levels of rotation now. All right, so we're gonna go back to our split stance, okay? You all know how much I love split stance work. So I have my right foot forward, my left foot is back with heel off the ground, and I'm gonna plant the stick level to my left foot that's in front, and the stick is in my opposite hand, running parallel to that foot. Okay, we've warmed up our hinges. We should be good to go with this. So my right hand is on the top of the stick. I'm going to take my opposite hand and reach across my belly button, grasping that stick. Okay, it should be such that my thumb is pointing down. Okay, so flip your grip, Sonia. There you go. Good. Okay, now we're going to hinge and melt down. Our bottom hand's going to slide down to the ground. We're melting our chest into the stick. Good. Trying to get our arms as straight as we can. There we go. As we're able, we can take a gaze up at our top hand. Good. A couple of breaths here. Then to get out of this, you can think about sending your center of gravity to your back leg just a little bit. So soften through the front, that front knee, soften that back knee, and then move backwards and up. Okay, good. Sometimes if we had a really long stick or even a wall to do this against, that would be like a door frame, a nice object to help us begin this rotational work. Okay, so we're going to go one more time. Hand on the top of the stick. Stick is running parallel to that lead foot right inside the armpit. That's the other thing. So if you extend that arm right here, the stick shouldn't be here. It should be right inside your armpit, right? And your shoulders should be pointing straight ahead like headlights. All right, so take that hand, thumb pointing down, palm into the stick, hinging forward. So you're going to feel this predominantly in the hamstring of this front leg. And then rotate. Now you can hang from the stick and really open up the chest on that top arm. You want to be relaxed in the neck though, getting that wingspan as wide as you can. As you exhale, draw that belly button to spine and think tailbones moving away from the crown of my head. And then soften and press back up to standing. Good. Okay, bring your feet together and we'll go ahead and switch sides. All right, so now I have right foot forward with knee bent, left leg back and straight, heel is off the ground. Stick is running parallel to my lead foot right inside my armpit. Grip is at the top. Good, I'm gonna take that opposite hand, rotate it, grasp it in my palm, but my thumb is on the inside toward my belly button and pointing down. Okay, now I'm gonna hinge as I melt my way down, letting my top arm lengthen, melting my armpits into the stick. Take your gaze to the top of the stick as you're able. If that's not comfortable, just gaze straight ahead, that's fine. Couple of breaths here, then find your heels, soften your knees and rock yourself back up into your split stance. We'll go one more time. All right, once you found your balance and your breath, cross that arm, palm into the stick, thumb pointed down, hinging as you melt down. Good, and hopefully the second time feels better. You're feeling more length as you draw in your belly button, zip your rib cage, and you can soften through your lower back. Good. 2 or 3 rounds of comfortable breath. And then focus on your heels to activate through your hamstrings. Pull yourself back up. And then once again, activating through your heels to draw your feet together. Okay, nicely done. All right, now let's take this stick and we'll put it in our elbows. Okay, so hopefully we've warmed up a lot of spaces here now, and we're gonna go into one of the more challenging rotational things, which is snake. Okay, so what that implies is we're gonna try and snake one of our hands down through our legs, passing our legs from a hinged position. Okay, in so doing, it will require a lot of rotation, but we're going to be hinged in our hips, which means our hips are going to kind of be locked in there in that position. Okay, so with me, I have my feet slightly wider than my hips, my knees are softly bent, and I'm going to hinge forward. Okay, so my elbows are drawn back, my lats are engaged. Now I'm going to take my right hand, both palms are up, and I'm going to turn my right palm down. And I'm going to reach for my right inner thigh, and I'm going to try and slide that right hand through my inner thigh, reaching toward the back wall. Okay, so now as a result, right, that left elbow is pulling me open. So take your gaze up toward that left shoulder. Good, and slowly slide that hand out. Good, return them both palms up, and now let's take the left hand, rotate it palm down. Okay, left hand sliding past the left inner thigh, reaching for that back wall. As it reaches, that right shoulder's rotating. Take your gaze up that right shoulder. Slowly rotate back to center. Okay, let's rise up. Good, we'll try that one more time. Now I know that this can be a lot of pressure of that stick into your back. All right, so maybe focus on, like, is there a different place that I can send that stick? Maybe I'm hunching my shoulders and the stick's placed a little high. Try and get the stick a little bit lower. Now, secondly, think about what works when we rotate, right? We're not just pushing, we also have to think about pulling. So that last time, our focal point was primarily on that hand that was pressing through our legs toward the back wall. Let's now think about a little bit more on that opposite shoulder and rotating and pull from that back lat. Okay, see if we can get a little bit better range. All right, so let's go into this comfortably, turning our head from side to side. Inhale into our chest. Exhale as we find our hinge, our palms are up. We're going to stabilize in our hinge. We're going to go to that right hand, rotate it palm down, slide it on the inside of your right thigh, start rotating, gaze up over the left. Now focus also on that left back of shoulder, left lat. Good. Ooh, I got all the way into my left glute. I am rotating back to center, palms up. Okay, now left hand's gonna turn, palm down, reaching for the inside of my left inner thigh, right back, activating, pulling, rotating. Exhale, release, there we go. Good, and then rotating back to center. Good. And press through your heels and rise. Okay. Who had better rotation second time? Yes? Good. Okay, let's give ourselves a tiny little break. Whoo! All right. And for the last upright one, we're gonna go away from rotation and into lengthening. Okay, so we're gonna take the heel of the stick, and it's in my right hand, and I'm gonna place the heel of the stick about at my midfoot, maybe an inch or two out. And then I'm gonna grip the stick nice and high and extend my arm out from my ear. Okay, good. Soft bend of my knees. So I'm going to open up my left lateral side. Okay, so I'm going to take my left hand, bring it out bent at the elbow. And as I exhale, I'm going to straighten my arm and bring it to my left, or my left bicep to my left ear. Move my right hip away from the stick and open up, trying to bring my hands together, trying to frame my ears with my biceps. Good. Okay. Bring yourself back to center. Nicely done. Now, with that one, I typically like to go back to it several times and increasing my stretch. So if your grip was at the top of your stick, and if you feel like you have energy and range, lower your grip a little, an inch or two. Okay, good. All right, arm is extended away. We're going to try and be nice and flat, right? We don't want to rotate our hips to reach the stick. We want to do a best job as we can to open up our lateral side. Okay, soft bend in the knees. Don't be tense about this. Okay, take that left hand bent at the elbow. Inhale into the chest. Exhale as you lengthen and moving the right hip away, reaching for your ears with your biceps. Make your mental adjustments. If you feel your hip or your shoulder has moved forward a little bit, just line yourself out, get those headlights pointed straight ahead. Good. Okay, and bring yourself back to center. All right, now let's move the stick to the other side, planting it just at the midfoot of the left foot, extending that left arm out from your ear, and it's going to be higher than your ear if your stick is high enough. Okay, the right hand is bent, knees are softly bent, nice and comfortable, relaxed in the neck and tops of shoulders. Exhale as you extend and reach up and over, bringing right bicep to right ear, left hip moves away from the stick. Exhale and soften. Okay, there's nowhere in here that you should feel like you're gripping. So if you pause a minute, I just did, and I found, oh, well, you're gripping in your quads. Relax. Good. Okay, bringing back up to center. Nicely done. All right, lower your grip on your stick as you're able. Right arm out, extended or bent. Inhale into the chest. Exhale and release as you reach up and over your ear. Left arm is straight, pressing away. Feel that stretch. If you're reaching towards your left, your right side should be opened up. Well done. Okay, let's bring ourselves back up to standing neutral. Now let's make our way down to the ground. Yay. Okay. All right, so reach for your yoga straps if you have not already. All right, I'm gonna go get mine as you guys make your way down to your ground. I want you lying on your back. Okay, and pause for a minute on your back and relax. All right, feel yourself melting into your imprint on the ground. We're gonna go through a series of hamstrings and piriformis stretches here. But I want you all to begin by just releasing into your imprint and finding your imprint so that your head is settling into the ground, your neck and shoulders are soft. You can feel your shoulder blades creating their imprint, and it moves down your mid back, your lower rib cage, providing for that gentle curvature in your lumbar spine. Then you find your hips. And if your legs are extended, you might feel the back of your legs pressing into the mat. Inhale into the chest here, long and slow, and then exhale out the mouth. Feel your low belly contract and sink towards your spine. Good. Feel how heavy and dead your legs are as they sink into the ground. Then take your yoga strap and bring it around either the arch or the ball of your right foot, and bring it back down to the ground and let it go heavy again. Hanging onto the straps with either hand, draw your elbows to your rib cage. On your next exhale, your leg's going to begin rising off the ground. And I want you to, before you get into a deep stretch, relax that leg and make sure that it is dead in the strap. Your elbows are in the ground and next to your ribs. So your lats are engaged, but you're holding the weight of your leg in your lats and your biceps. On your next exhale, continue contracting through your biceps to draw the dead weight of your leg up over your hips. Try to stay soft in your quads as you exhale and breathe. Sinking your belly towards your spine, softly lengthening through your hamstring. Good. Continue exhaling. We want to get to a spot where we feel a good level of stretch, not to the point of pain, but to a point that you can hold for a couple of breaths. And you can visualize that softening without fear, without gripping. Good, then slowly lower your leg about 18 to 24 inches. And now we're gonna internally rotate that right leg in the hip joint. Okay, so do that and then go back to a soft quad. Okay, so now your right big toe should be pointing across towards your left shoulder. Take your straps into your left hand, place your right palm down on the ground. Left elbow to rib cage, and slowly begin contracting through the biceps. Our goal here is to access our outer hamstring on that right leg. So let your right glute go dead. Let it leg hang there. Good. Nicely done. All right, then slowly soften through the knee, bending the leg, bringing the leg right over the hip again, okay? And we're going to straighten that leg gently, keeping it dead. Okay, transition those yoga straps to your right hand. And now we're gonna have the leg cross your belly button. Okay, so it's crossing your body nice and straight. And we're trying to access here our deep glute muscles. So keep that leg dead, keep the glute dead as it crosses. Keep the elbow into your ribs. Don't let your right hip roll off the ground. Just think that it's heavy and resting. Now you may feel this in your outer hamstring on that right side as well, and that's fine, okay? It takes a little bit of time to get your positioning correct so that you can access those deep glute muscles. All right, now we're gonna switch to the left foot, okay? So extend that leg, get the strap around the arch or the ball of the left foot. All right, let your body relax and go dead into your mat. And on your next exhale, contract through your transverse and then pull that left dead leg up off the ground. Get those hand straps positioned in both hands with elbows in. And exhale as you soften. Don't sink your low back into the mat. Use your transverse to stabilize your low back and lengthen through that left hamstring. Keep the left quad soft. Soften and lengthen, no gripping. All right, nicely done. Now lower that leg 18 to 24 inches. Transition the straps into your right hand. Internally rotate that left leg in the hip joint. Release through that left quad. It'll automatically fire when you do that rotation, so release it. Now you're sending your left big toe toward your right shoulder. Plant your left palm down at the ground. Release your left glute. Again, he's going to want to fire too, and you don't want him to. Want to stretch through that outer hamstring. So try and release that glute. Feel the stretch. It can be intense when you get that positioning in the right spot. You might think, oh, there it is. Good. Now release. Bend the knee. Bring the knee toward the chest. Reposition that leg right over the hip. Straighten the leg one more time. Okay, we're going to go after those deep glute muscles. So take that strap into your left hand. Right palm is down. Make that left glute go dead. That foot that is now running parallel is going to cross your body. Keep it nice and dead. We're searching for our deep butt muscles on the left side here. So we want to keep that hip anchored. Don't let it fly up off the ground. Good. Return that leg to center. Now bend that left knee. Get the hand straps in both hands. Now we're going to take that right leg and cross the right ankle onto the left knee. Okay, so now we're in a figure 4. Hand straps in both hands. Let that left knee bend freely. Right elbow to right thigh. Okay, we want to keep that knee as parallel to the ankle as possible. And then we're going to contract through the biceps to draw that foot, that knee, and that figure 4 in towards your chest. Relax, open up that right glute. Try to melt your torso into the mat. I know that's hard. We feel tension in this stretch. We want to curl up into a fetal position sometimes, but try and melt back into your mat. Good. A couple of rounds of breath there for that piriformis. And then go ahead and release, straighten the legs. Go ahead and put that right foot into the strap, cross the left ankle onto right knee, left elbow into right or left inner thigh. Allow that right knee to bend generously. This is about the right glute now. Okay, so left elbow in left inner thigh. Begin contracting through the biceps to draw foot, knee, and figure 4 in towards your chest. Firm left elbow into that left inner thigh to externally rotate in that hip, accessing that piriformis, and exhale. Good, then slowly release that tension, extend those legs. You can go ahead and drop your yoga strap. Let your legs lengthen out on the ground. Place your palms down on the ground next to your hips. With eyes closed, inhale in through your nose, feel your rib cage expand as your chest opens up. And exhale out your mouth. Feel your transverse, your low belly descend and clench towards your spine. Nicely done. Now we're just going to roll over onto our right side or left side. And then using that top hand, pressing your torso up and away from the floor and getting up onto your hip. Thank you for a great class, everybody. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye.